Snoop Dogg, Nicki Minaj, Tucker Carlson, Russell Brand. Guys, when I started seeing all of these celebrities suddenly become Christian, I was like, nah, something doesn't feel right. I figured it out, and it was literally like the moment that the usual suspects in that movie, the Chaz Palminteri, drops the cup, and it just shatters everywhere. And my gut was like, ugh, this is really what they're doing, guys. First of all, make sure you follow the channel because this is going to be way too long to put in a one video clip. So we're going to call it, I don't know, something part 1 or whatever. But anyways, first of all, I can't believe so many people think they're actually Christian, number one. But number two, let me just give you an example. Nothing in the Bible is what you think it is. I can confidently say that every single denomination, every single pastor in America is 100% wrong in their reading of the Bible. I know what you're going to say. That's a crazy claim. Hear me out. Just hear me out. Okay? The Bible was written in a time where they couldn't really say the things that they wanted to say. They just couldn't. The early church fathers even wrote in documents saying, yes, we were using metaphorical language and big stories to represent other things. It's so evident. If you want biblical proof of that, Proverbs 1 says, we speak to you in dark sayings. Dark sayings is a turn of phrase. That's like saying, oh my God, no cap. I mean, who the hell would think no cap means I'm not lying? You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to tell you. In Corinthians, Paul literally calls the entire story of Abraham and Sarah a metaphor, an allegory, meaning Abraham and Sarah never existed. These are things to teach you a lesson about you. It's about how Jesus came to tell you how great you were. If you go into any church today and say, I could do things better than Jesus Christ, they'll call the cops and say, oh my God, blasphemer. But Jesus says right here, these things I do, you shall do better, and better things you shall do. So that's him telling you, because Jesus was trying to teach you that the power that was inside of him is inside of you. Unfortunately, religions have bound you up in the external. But the adepts always knew that there was one doctrine for the masses, the goyim, here's the external, while the adepts in their ivory towers looking down at the stupid people were practicing the internal or the esoteric religion. The Pharisees were even saying to Jesus, by what authority do you do these things? And you know what Jesus' answer was? John the Baptist wasn't doing Jewish things, that's for sure. He was doing very Eastern things. And Jesus responded and said, by what authority does John the Baptist do these things? No one could answer him. In 2 Corinthians, it clearly says, if you read this book with the Spirit, it gives life. If you read it by the letter, it killeth. They're telling you straightforward, don't read this literally. No one wandered out of a desert for 40 years. If you can't find something in 40 years, it just doesn't happen. The Egyptians kept immaculate records. There was not one single record that the Exodus happened. Adam and Eve were not the first two people. Two English people in the middle of Palestine never happened. Do you want to know how I know that didn't happen? Because when Cain goes before God and says, oh my God, all these people will come against me if you send me out there. What other people? It was Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. What is Cain talking about? The other people. Or is that a biblical mistake? Oops, there goes biblical inerrancy, because it's a metaphor. It's an error only if you read it literally. I love this. One of the early church fathers, Origen, He ridicules the idea that God planting a garden as if God were a farmer or a laborer, misunderstanding the spiritual sense of the scripture. The divine word in speaking God and planting signifies the establishment of the word for the benefit of humanity, not a literal act of manual labor. Not a literal garden. Paul says about circumcisions. Circumcisions is not of the flesh, but it is of the heart. This means that circumcision is hearing the truth. Do you really think they needed to cut off a 200 and something thousand and you know what, and just, oh, here they are, we got them all? Circumcision means hearing the truth. Proverbs again says, we're speaking to you in dark sayings. Psalm 78 says, we're talking to you in dark sayings. Corinthians again, Paul calls the Old Testament an allegory. Corinthians 2, don't be a minister of the letter, but the Spirit gives life, and the letter killeth. It's so obvious. Christians are saying, well, Jesus was a fisher of men, but he also did teach people how to fish. Remember, there was a boat and there was the net and he caught all those fish. Guys, that story never happened. That never happened. And I'm going to prove to you that it didn't happen. That story was put there to give you a message, a encoded, occult, deeper message. What good is it to you in 2026 if someone caught X amount of fish, 2,000-3,000 years ago, whatever? It does nothing for you. But when you read it with the Spirit, like Paul suggested, it does mean something. And here's how I know that either A, the story of Jesus catching fish in the Bible is completely, it just never happened, or two, actually, no, that is the only option. It never happened. So here we go. This is my absolute proof for that passage never happening. And I'm going to show you how the Bible is teaching you a different story. Goliath with 6 cubits and a span. A cubit is 18 inches. A span is 9. When you multiply those out and add the numbers together, you get 9. Adam, the Sanskrit value is 9. 9 in mysticism signifies consciousness. There's a higher consciousness and a lower consciousness. In the book of Revelation, which again is not a literal thing, it's not a literal situation of occurrings, but it does seem like the world elite is structuring their end plan around this script. Anyways, the city was 12,000 furlongs. A furlong is 660 feet. If you multiply 12,000 by 660, you will get a number. Add those up, it will equal to 9. The measurement of the wall, 144 cubits. 4 plus 4 plus 1 is 9. 144,000 saved. You actually have these absolute idiots. Oh, I'm one of the chosen people. I'm one of the 12 tribes. I'm the bloodline of Jesus. There is no such thing. There were no 12 tribes. The 12 tribes were the 6 cranial nerves in your brain, and they come in pairs, and that's why there's 12. That's why there's a 12-step program. That's why you go to school from 1 through 12. That's why there's 12 constellations. That's why there was 12 disciples. That's why Horus took 12 steps through the sky. That's why there are 12 hours in the half of 24 hours. And we can keep going. A cubit, again, is 18 inches. 8 plus 1 is 9. Oh my God, the mark of the beast. Who is it? Which man is it? I know one thing. He's got 666. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. 666 is your lower mind, lower consciousness, greed, envy, fear, shame, guilt, anything that causes you pain, anything that causes you mental distress. 666 is the carnal mind, your lower consciousness. Then we get to the ark, 300 cubits. A cubit is, again, we went over this, 18. A cubit by itself, 8 plus 1 is 9. But 300 cubits times 18 is 5,400. 5,000 plus 400 is 9. And the final thing, when Jesus said, cast your net to the right side, they caught 153 fish. Do you think they sat there and counted 153 fish? 153, 1 plus 5 plus 3 is 9. They're talking about consciousness. So the reason that you have all of these celebrities trying to pull the masses into the old ways, into the literal Christian interpretation is because right now there is a real spiritual awakening going on. People are meditating, people are flying out of their bodies, people are accessing hidden powers that Jesus had. Regular people are accessing, and the people that are in control are petrified also. And I'll get to this in another video. It seems to be that there's a strong case right in the Bible for reincarnation. But if you believe in the Christian worldview, you just die once. You're here once, you die once. And if they can keep you in that mindset where, oh, once we die, then they have fear over you. Because think about it. If you knew with 100% certainty that you were going to just reincarnate, all of their tyrannical BS, you would just revolt against it. Because you'd be like, yeah, I'm coming back anyways. And it's that illusion that they're trying to protect. That is why I am very, very inclined to believe that the reason why all of these celebrities, now just recently Snoop Dogg, are suddenly going back to legalist, literalist Christianity. Everything in this world is inverted. Remember that. Nothing is what it seems. This resurgence that you think is a good thing, if you don't think that it's being coordinated by the masters of this world, you got another thing coming. Some of us have been spiritually awakened or are starting, and we see through it. But I'm telling you, unfortunately, there are more people who will not see through it.